go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 112 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us. And where are we now, Chris?
We're in Arizona. Chris, we were in Arizona for the last one, weren't we? We were in Tucson. Now we're up by Phoenix
Okay,
in a RV park called Leaf Verde, which we were at 2 years ago when you got your first drone.
that's right.
So now you have this opportunity,
In the same place. It's
nice
pretty
wide
neat.
open field.
Cool. All right. I can't work this thing. It's good. So on today's show, we're going to have one that's a little bit special. How to learn from Geeks on Tour. Our beginner's lesson is how to keep on learning. If you have questions during the show, live, you can ask there on the YouTube chat. And by Wednesday afternoon, we should have this thing up on our website at thebuttonshow.com, where everybody can go and take a look and
Yes, we've
comment
been giving
there.
this show for over 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going on 3, and we just realized we had never
Actually gone
actually
through the intro,
told people
although we
about
do this.
who
Yeah.
we are, what we do,
Okay.
and how best to learn from our materials.
And I think that's important. So we'll go through this. I'm Jim,
And I'm Chris.
and we are Geeks on Tour. We've been traveling the country presenting these technology seminars nationwide since 2005, and we are geeks. Look at me, that's an old picture, but we love technology. And we're actually in that dining room right
We
now. This is
are.
this is our RV studio sometimes.
So it's never a dining room. It's usually an office, and sometimes it is
Yeah,
our production studio.
absolutely.
So yeah, you recognize the
This
table.
is it. Pretty cool. But we are geeks who teach, and that's something that's a little bit different about a lot of the geeks that you might know. Chris here is the main teacher. She is pretty amazing. She had the first computer training center in South Florida and started that in 1983 with her mom and ran it until 1996. I came on board about, what, 93,
92,
94?
3.
Well, we met back then, yeah. So, no, you look exactly, maybe a little younger. You look a little younger now.
Now,
Now.
yeah, right. You know what
Okay.
he's full
Yeah,
of.
right. But we tour the country, and that RV, it's
That's what
parked
we're
right
in right
behind,
now.
and we tour the country. This is some examples of our maps that we have. So pretty cool.
So if any of you remember a software called WordPerfect,
Yeah, Chris was one of the very first 17 certified WordPerfect instructors in the entire universe.
yes, I traveled out to Utah. That's where WordPerfect was at the time. It is no more. I've outlasted them.
Yeah.
But I also taught things like Excel and Microsoft Word and QuickBooks, business stuff. We don't do that
No, I was her
anymore.
network administrator. I had to make sure that all of those classroom computers were set up and working for class every day.
We had to have full rooms with full sized computers, and it was his job to set up. At one point, there was 100 computers that he had to
In
make
three
sure were set up
locations.
every day.
Yeah, she was a slave driver.
But he really is a geek. I just love creating with computers. And I think I remember the moment that I fell in love with you.
Oh, yeah? When was that?
You were the first person to make sound work on a computer. I think it was Windows 1.1.
Well, maybe three.
And I just thought that was so exciting.
She's a
We're
geek.
geeks in love, yes.
No question about it. She is a geek.
But now we don't teach business stuff. So we want you to figure out how to learn best from us. When we used to have these classrooms, now we do everything on the web. We make our living from memberships on our website, and we do seminars, live seminars all over the country for people to get to know us, and now these weekly shows. But the way you can continuously learn is mostly on our website. The first thing we think everybody should do is sign up for our newsletter. It's on geeksontour.com. The menu item is blogs and news. And we've been doing a newsletter every month since July 2007. Each newsletter has a little bit about where we are. Lately, I've been making sure to share a nice photo of where we are. And because we're just so into photos, we're making sure that you see a photo of our stuff. We also post example questions from our Q&A forum and some valuable technology tips. And you can check our calendar anytime to see where we are. Maybe you can attend one of our live seminars. For example, if you're anywhere in Arizona, we're presenting all week next week at the Rally in the Valley.
All right, down in Chandler, right?
And I want to take you to the actual website.
Okay.
And show you what I mean by under blogs and news, there is newsletters. And on that page, you will see a way to sign up. If you sign up, it means you will get each newsletter in your inbox, an email. But there also have the archives here of every newsletter we've ever written. So you can go back, say, gee, sometime last summer, I know they had an article about something I want to go back to. Well, here's last summer's newsletters. And the next thing that we think everybody should do is know that all the articles in the newsletters are actually individual posts on our website. So you can, without going to the newsletters, you can see every article we've ever written. And let me show you that. So these are the newsletters. Under the same menu item, blogs and news, there is all articles. This one. And you can browse if you want. You can just scroll down and see Android or Apple, Member Spotlight, sell your stuff on eBay, WineGuard Connect, embedding slideshows in websites, etc., etc., etc.
And on and on and on.
And on and on. There are hundreds. Sir, what would you do? If you know a word that was in the title, so let's say you remember there being something about backing up a blog. You have a blog and you want to back it up. You can do a Control F if you want to search all the words in these titles. Control F, and a little field opens up in the upper right here, and you can type backup, and it does an exact character by character search in the words on this page. And it says there are 12 of them, but there's what you were looking for right there. Back up your blog, so you're good. Let me try another one. Let's say you wanted to find the article about straightening a horizon. And you just start typing, and as soon as it finds the words, it highlights them. But it's saying, I don't find anything that has the word straighten in the title of the article. So that, but I know there's something on here. There's something on the website.
Yeah, sure you
about straightening horizon. So then you can use this field in the sidebar here, this search in the sidebar called search this site. So instead of just searching the titles on this one page, this searches the whole site. And I've already tested this. I can say straighten horizon and search. Articles, or In this case, this is a what does this button do show? Editing with Google Photos has the words straighten horizon somewhere in the show notes.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you can find anything you're looking for with
If you just know how to search.
just a little bit of work, and search is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you see the one you're looking for, so maybe it was that editing with Google Photos, you click on it and it takes you to the page. Now to actually see show notes,
You need to be a member.
member. So
and she does have a membership somehow.
I do. And so we could, well, okay, let me do that. So you go into the show notes, you log in. Now you might want to find where in the show notes the straighten horizon is discussed. And when they come up, voila. All right.
There, something come up.
So here are the show notes, and it goes on and on. So this is an example of our show notes for show. And now I can do a Control F and search just this page, and it finds where there is the word straighten and straighten horizons.
Very handy.
Next, so that's newsletters and articles, just our written content that's on the web. Then tutorial videos is where we started. Tutorial videos is how we teach on our website. If you go to all tutorial videos and categories, you will see the categories of videos that we have. So if you wanted to learn something about Google Photos, you would click on the Google Photos category. And here we still have subcategories. But if you want to just see all the Google Photo lessons, you click on that. And then here are the Google Photos tutorial videos. Now, each of these tutorial videos are between 2 and 8 minutes long. So if you wanted to find how to add Google Photos to Google Maps, you would click there and then play the video. I want to make a recommendation here, and that is don't wait until there's something you're trying to accomplish and then find tutorial videos on that.
What should you do?
You should just play them whenever you feel like it. Something on TV.
That never happens. There's always something on. It's usually pretty lousy, though, isn't it?
Because we teach what we teach. We may not have tutorial videos exactly on the issue that you want to learn, but if you just play some videos, you'll find things that you never even knew existed.
Right, you'll get some cool ideas
that maybe inspire you. That's our hope. And then you'll come up with specific things, and then you can use our Q&A forum to ask us specific questions.
Good idea.
And I have been known several times to create a tutorial video based on the question that a member asked us. So that can happen too.
And she might even give you credit too. Cool.
Now, if you've been watching some of our tutorial videos and learning a lot from us, then you might want to just come to our site and say, I wonder what they've done lately.
That's always a good thing.
And that's tutorial videos and recent tutorial videos.
There you go.
And most of these are for members only. Every once in a while, you'll see one that says free, and that means that you will be able to get to it even if you don't have a username and password. But this is the entire list, just in chronological order. What's on top is the most recent. but you can go all the way back, and there are hundreds, almost 500 now.
Wow.
So the very first tutorial video I ever made was back up to external hard drive.
How about that?
Now, this is several years ago,
Yeah.
but I'll betcha that the concept, if you've never backed up to an external hard drive, I'll bet you would still learn something by watching that video.
Yeah. Things do change, and especially with the user interface on the different devices. But the concepts, once you understand those concepts, it's so much easier to learn a new process or figure out where things are now because they moved your cheese.
For example, this one on copy and paste. Copy and paste has been the same on Windows.
Forever.
Yeah, so
And
if you
on
need to learn
Mac.
how to do that. But all the way at the top are our newest ones. And then how would you find something in here?
I would use either Control F search or the other site-based search.
If you think you know a word that was in the title, then do a Control F. So let's say HDR. You've been hearing about HDR as a photo technique, and you wonder, what is that? Have we done a video on it? Control F, HDR.
Make sure you spell it right.
4 of them up here in the upper right. You can see 1 of 4, and then you can go down and see the rest. And there you go. You have 4 choices. So that's search a page with Control F, or if you want to search the whole site, then it's that search bar on the right.
Excellent. Let's see if we have any questions. No, no. Bill says many of the WordPerfect concepts still work on the new devices.
But not
see.
reveal codes.
No. Chris was missing her reveal codes just yesterday, I think. Notice emails and searches are lagging. Any idea why the internet is inconsistent? Boy, I wish I
knew.
Well, yeah, the internet is
inconsistent
because we're expecting it to do more than it was really built to do. That's part of the issue. This technology, if you think about it, is really fairly new, and it's been improving by leaps and bounds over the years, but some of us are less patient than others. And it's when it bogs down, and there are other reasons for it bogging down. If a lot of people are on, there's a lot of people on all the time, just on YouTube. Think about how much is going on with streaming video, which is really the most bandwidth intensive thing that you can do on the computer or in the internet or in the cloud.
So if you're watching this, you know about our free weekly shows. We are on episode 112 now. We usually have a beginner's lesson that teaches something about, today is a little bit different, but it's almost always in teaching on smartphones and tablets. And we have one page where all of the shows are archived with a small description. Another place where you can search. Let me show you how. So back to geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly show. Just click on weekly show, and it tells you this is all about what does this button do. We have a separate website where we post every Wednesday, but the entire archives are here. So let's say that you wanted to find, you're playing with a new Chromecast and you're having trouble casting your Android phone to your Chromecast, and you remember that we did a show. Control F, Chromecast, And as soon as I type CHROM, it gets there. So that was show 108. You can click on the notes and then read through them. It
And you
takes,
might even find your answer right there in the show notes, and you don't even have to watch the video.
right.
But it's always a good way to review the information.
But if you do see your answer and you say, but I still don't quite understand, I would like to see where they demonstrated it, that's what this link on the left is. That is your timeline link. It will take you straight to the video at that point in the video. All right. So that's the show notes. The tutorial videos I already showed you, they are short, prepared videos rather than this 45-minute show. So each on a specific subject. We do highly recommend. Nothing bothers me more than for somebody to tell me that they've been a member for a year and they haven't used it. And as we talk, I find out it's because they're putting too much pressure on themselves. They think that it is work, like going to a gym. Like going to a gym, and then if you don't
If you
use
don't
it,
use it, yeah, it's not
it doesn't
worthwhile.
do anything for you. But it's no work. Just say, gee, I have nothing to do for the next hour. Let's go watch some videos. Don't put pressure on yourself that you have to accomplish something with the videos you watch.
Just relax.
Just
Everything's
relax,
fine.
right? And they're 5 minutes each, and you will learn something, and you'll remember it next time you go to do it.
Good point.
Ebooks. We also have some ebooks, and members get every ebook as part of their membership. Let me show you where that is. On the member login, after you are logged in, and I am, you'll know you're logged in if it says hello in your name and welcome, all our ebooks.
Including Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos.
And this is all part of your membership.
Right.
It's working on it.
Well, those
Yeah,
bandwidth
there we
issues
go.
can some.
So the beginner's guide to Picasa and the Google Photos. Yes, that is. So these are PDFs. You don't get a printed book in the mail with this.
You need to use your own paper for
You
this.
get a file, right? And then, last but not least,
Yeah.
on our website there is a Q&A forum. And this is a little different from most forums on the internet elsewhere in that we call it Ask the Geeks. So if you post a question on this forum, one of the geeks will respond.
Usually that geek over there. But sometimes she passes it on to me, just if it's one of those technical questions. Most of the questions we get nowadays are about Google Photos or the photo stuff, and she is the real expert. If you ask a question on hardware, I might be able to answer it.
So the forum is right there, and all of the questions and answers that are there are visible to anybody coming to the site. But if you want to ask, you need to be a member. So you need to be logged in, choose your topic, and then there's a button to say add new question, add new topic.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It'll get there.
Now, we want to talk about the fact that you can buy our entire learning library on a thumb drive.
And you have one right here.
Right here.
This is what I've been doing all week, is burning these thumb drives with all of the content that we have on our website.
On this little thumb drive, 111 of the Button Show notes and the 7 ebooks.
Yeah, we had to get this ready for the big rally that's coming up this week. So this show probably won't make it to these thumb drives, but as a member, you
Right,
can get all of those show notes anyway, right?
right. So I want to show you the thumb drive, but since this is a show about smartphones and tablets, I'm not going to show it to you on a computer. Now, we did a show a while back on this travel router, the Who2 travel router. So I will be able to view the contents of this thumb drive
Mm-hmm.
on my iPad,
Right? Because you
even
can't
though
plug
there's
that.
no,
Can't plug that in there. No,
there's,
well, no.
you can buy thumb drives that do.
Right. And there are some adapters that might work, but
We
this
have
is
found that
better.
this works a lot better. So this is a travel router called a Who2. And if you go to our store on Geeks on Tour and then find the Amazon store, you'll see exactly. This is the newer one.
Mm-hmm. This is the one you like. We had one that was earlier.
The one we did in the show and in the video was the earlier
Right.
version. So this one looks a little bit different. It's a little cheaper.
Mm-hmm. It does not have quite the recharging power that the other one did.
So you just plug the thumb drive,
Right.
make sure it's on,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is creating a little Wi-Fi
Network.
network, not hotspot. There's no internet involved, just a network that the iPad can connect to and then see it.
All right.
So I'm going to show you the iPad now.
All right.
And same thing with an iPhone or an Android phone or an Android tablet, is just that looking at the contents of the disk on the tablet size is nicer.
Much.
Step one, you have to go into your Wi-Fi and connect to the TripMate. That's what that's called. And I already have. So that's how you get connected to it. Now it shows up as a drive using the TripMate app. So TripMate app, and there is the contents of the USB drive that is inserted in the TripMate. These are all the tutorial videos. So if you wanted to watch that one about backing up Blogger, I open up the Blogger and there is backup blog right there. And you can play it. Hi, this is Chris Gould. This video tutorial. Nice and easy to watch that. And the great thing about watching it on your tablet too, you could watch it on your tablet while you're
working with it on your phone or on your computer for some of these things. And another thing that's really nice is you can get several people actually streaming that same video using the Who2.
yeah.
It's not just one to one. The power on this, it does not go very far. It's just a small device, and so your neighbors probably won't be seeing that signal, but it's really nice. And it's powered by batteries, so it's portable, just like your tablet.
And watching these videos from the thumb drive does not need any internet.
No internet required. And that
No
is
data.
something that a lot of RVers really appreciate.
But even I say
Yeah.
something. You also have all of the what does this button do show notes on here. So if we want to, and still you can search for Chromecast. Oops, got a typo in there. Darn. I'll just search for Chrome. And there is the Chromecast show notes. Looking really nice on the tablet. And the ebooks. So there is a separate folder somewhere. Ebooks. So there are all the ebooks, including Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos, which is a PDF that you could print if you want, or you can search through and you could just read it on the iPad.
Excellent. Back to us.
So guess what? Special offer.
Unbelievable. Tell us about that.
We really don't do that very often.
That's true.
But in order to tell you all about how best to learn from Geeks on Tour, I think this thumb drive is a pretty good thing. It's on our website on the store for $79. But for the next week, you could get it for a 30% discount, and that includes shipping.
Mm-hmm.
We don't charge anything for shipping. If you just put in the code button 112, because this is episode 112 of the Button Show.
Now that free shipping is only for domestic shipping in the
Okay.
US. I'll have to charge a little bit, not as much as it really costs, but if you're in Canada or overseas somewhere, the shipping is a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, you were kind of shocked when you had to mail something to Australia.
Yeah, New Zealand and those places, sure. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, we do invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/Geeks on Tour TV, or just search for Geeks on Tour when you're at the YouTube page. Right? What do you got? I'm looking for some questions here. I see a few statements, but I don't see any questions. But Bob Brown, Bill, gotcha. Didn't we do printing from a tablet? There's a show on that, Bob. You can check that out. And now you know how to search for it too, don't you?
It was one of our earlier ones.
And
maybe
we will probably revisit it because it's different on different printers, not so much on the Android or the iPhone. It's more has to do more with the brand of printer that you have. The newer ones make it very easy. Some of the older ones don't, and networking does come into it a little bit. So it's kind of stuff that I'm a geek about.
And I would like to encourage people to watch these shows after the show notes come out, which are on Wednesday.
Right.
Then you could print them out. And I think you could even get together with a group of friends. People have book clubs, right?
Yeah, a little study group.
Why not have a phone club?
Wouldn't that be fun?
I think it'd be a great way to learn. And if you're watching it not live, then you can pause and play with your devices and have some questions back and forth. So that's something I'd like to encourage people to use our show for, is for
how do you learn?
And the best learning is when you get to work on it yourself.
Right, because when one teaches to learn.
One teaches to learn, exactly.
What else you got there? Facebook. We are on Facebook. We have our own page. Just go in the Geeks on Tour and like us. Be a lot of fun. Well, did you learn something? I know I do.
We still have review questions.
Every
even
time
though it was all about us.
It was all about us, but now this is about you because you're the ones that are really interested in learning. Everyone should sign up for the tour.com and click the menu item called what?
Blog/news.
Okay. Although we love having an audience watching live, we encourage people to wait until it's posted Wednesday. Print out the show notes and watch.
With friends.
Watch with friends. To search for anything on the geeksontour.com site, use A, Google, B, Control F or Command F on an iMac or a Mac, and C, sidebar search box.
Sidebar search. But I want to break out here and show a little tip on Google.
Go right ahead.
Because that could do an answer. Did you know if you wanted to search for Chromecast, but only on Geeks on Tour website, :Geeks geeksontour.com. Now that is Google doing a search, but all the results are from geeksontour.com.
And you can only do that with Geeks on Tour, right?
Any site.
Any site that you know, Ben.
That is a handy little tip.
There are a lot of shortcuts using Chrome. And one of these days, maybe we'll put together a compendium. They're out there on the web already, but it's kind of cool for the special things. All right. Where were we?
Number 4.
Number 4, to search for anything on a page, it's A, Google, B, Control F, Command F on a Mac, or C, sidebar search box.
B, Control F, Command F. Search for anything on a page.
Okay.
And you can do that on the mobile devices as well. And it was in our weekly show on browsers.
Okay. Watch our Show Me How videos. A, when you're bored. Question. C, when you want to learn something.
A or C. You know, maybe when you have a tech question, if you know we have a video on it, then
right.
Okay.
Because everything, we try to stay away from the technical side of things, so the best place to ask those questions are in our forum.
In
right?
our forum, in Ask the Geeks, exactly.
Right. Okay, to order the Learning Library on USB drive, you must be a member, true or false?
False.
No.
Anybody can buy that drive. And so the advantages to the drive are twofold. Number 1, no internet required.
That's
so you
a
have
big
all
one,
the
yeah.
content with no internet required. Number 2, it's yours forever. It doesn't auto destruct in 1 year.
Right.
Whereas our memberships are for 1 year. Now the benefit of the membership is 1, you get any new content. I mean, we checked. I've made 16 new videos in the last 2 months.
I know. Right? You don't have to tell me. But that is cool.
And if you're a member, you can ask us questions in the forum. So those are the 2 benefits to membership. But so they both have their purpose.
That's very important to know, though. What's the weekly show? Or no, what's the webpage that lists all of our weekly shows?
geeksontour.com/weekly show.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
geeksontour.com. The menu is blogs and news.
And I think we just talked about the benefits you get by joining Geeks on Tour.
That's right.
The complete learning library of tutorial videos, ask the questions, all the show notes that should be becoming even more valuable as time goes on because we keep adding to it, discounts on products and services, and you get all of those ebooks. And with the special, you can get all of that stuff right on the thumb drive.
So what's the coupon code for the special?
I don't know. You made it. I think it's 112.
112. Well, button 112.
Okay, I think we need to put that up on the screen.
Button 112.
Button 112. Remember that? We do invite you to become a member. Just go to geeksontour.com and click on the link to become a member. Next time, well,
this is March 5.
This is March 5. So we're going to try to do one next week. I think our bandwidth is even going to be a little more limited. We'll see.
Well, actually, next week we will be teaching a What Does This Button Do class at Palm Creek.
On Sunday?
No, Sunday we're going to be teaching Blogger.
Oh, okay.
Saturday we're teaching What Does This Button Do.
Right.
But we might do the live show as part of that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
We all have our different idea of what fun is too around here. So, well, thanks for watching. And I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we hope to see you next time on What Does This Button Do? What does this button do? I'm going to play with this button for a minute.